thought of a way to start this video, it was by saying that there is no point to this video, which is also the point. And so, the purpose of this video is for me to make something. It doesn't need to be good. It will probably be bad. And the purpose is just to make a video that I do not care about, so that I have made a video. I posted my second YouTube video over half a year ago now, and I haven't made a video since, and I absolutely despised it. I thought it was horrible, and it was my second YouTube video. No one's watched it. It's had 6 views. And so the only one who was rejecting that video was me, but it still made it so that I could not get myself to make another video. And not only that, but then I was having a hard time making art as well, because I just kept being so strict with myself. All of my art has to be perfect. All of my content has to be perfect. And I could not get myself to be happy with anything I was making, both with the actual product of my art and the content I was sharing with people. I had an issue with my health, and I had to have my left hand in a brace. If we add up how long my hand was in a brace and in a cast post-surgery, my wrist was immobile for probably a bit under 3/4 of a year. And so when I got the surgery cast off, I was given the go. I was allowed to move my wrist. I physically could not move my wrist. I could not get myself to do that. And then we went to physical therapy, as you do after you get surgery. And within 5 minutes, I was able to move my wrist. I just needed the physical therapist who knew what they were doing to help me get over my mental block of moving my wrist. And so that is what this video is supposed to be for me. I need to get over the mental block of hating my content, being stuck in my content, and I need to just go. I need to be bad before I can be good at making anything. So I figured I'd start out by just making a list of what is so scary about making content for me. My main points were just that I don't want to make bad content, I'm scared of people hating my content, and I don't know what I'm doing. So just going through that, it doesn't matter if my content sucks. I'm new at it. I'm allowed to make bad content. It doesn't really matter, and the only rejection I've faced is my own. No one's seeing it so far, and so nobody else can be rejecting it. And even if they do, then I should have reasons aside from being affirmed by strangers on the internet to be making my content. So why am I making content? I sat down and I thought, why am I making content? Why do I want to make content? What is the point of me making content? Why do I want to post on YouTube? Why do I post my art? And the first reason I thought of was I want to document my process. I want to have space to see just how much I've come. And so far, my Instagram's been doing that for me, but I also just wanted to mess with long-form content. I want to see what I can do with YouTube. I want to see how I learn things, how I get to adapt my content to YouTube. I want to share my art. I'm already sharing my art, but on YouTube, I can share more of my process. I can share more of my thoughts and how I come to my conclusions. I can just do more because there's more time, and it's also starting over. I don't have a huge following on Instagram. I love to joke that I'm famous. Every time I get a new follower, I go and I tell all my friends that I'm famous. I'm currently at 260 followers on Instagram, and I am so proud of that. But that's also terrifying, because there are people who are seeing my art that I'm putting out there. And that's awesome and terrifying all at the same time. And just starting fresh with YouTube sounds like it would be fun. And my final reason is, ever since I knew that YouTube was a thing, I wanted to be a YouTuber. I was that little kid who wanted to post on YouTube. And back then I was convinced I would become a Minecraft YouTuber, because as a child, was obsessed with Minecraft. I'm slightly less obsessed with Minecraft now, but it was a goal for me as a child. I wanted to be a YouTuber, and while I'm not going to be a Minecraft YouTuber, I like to think that my childhood self would be proud of me for becoming an artist on YouTube too. I feel that I owe it to my childhood self, and that if I were to go back in time and meet myself as a small child who wasn't even allowed on YouTube, who wanted so desperately to be a YouTuber, that my child self would think that that's the coolest thing ever. So, thinking through those things, yes, making content is terrifying. I'm scared of it. I'm scared of failing. But there's no consequence if I fail at making content. It is strictly a hobby for me currently. And so, when you think of all the reasons I want to make content, it sounds like fun, I get to share my art, I get to learn new skills. I don't know how to edit videos and stuff. I only have the smallest bit of knowledge from posting on Instagram, which short form and long form content are extremely different when it comes to editing and filming and figuring out what the heck are you doing. So, when you really look at it, and you break it down into that, the cons of making content, for me personally, are nearly redundant. They don't matter at all. And the pros are all things that I still want to do. They're still things I want to achieve. So, why not try? And so, what's next? This is my refresher. This is my physical therapy to my block of making art and posting my art online. The art doesn't need to be good. It's not bad art, I wouldn't say. I quite like the doodles on the right side of the spread. My style tends to just turn into the same thing that it was several years ago whenever I try to use multiple different mediums together. It's very messy and scratchy and doodly, and that doesn't matter. This video doesn't matter because it's my refresher. It's just to get me from point A to point B. We're just starting. So, what I want out of this channel, I will probably make a lot of draw with me's. I'll work on my voiceover. That was my biggest critique to myself about my last video. I hated the voiceover, and I might hate this voiceover too. You never know. I'm still recording it. I'll tell you if I like it. But so, I'll make draw with me's because they are less editing intensive than the other ideas that I have. On to those, I want to work on more in-depth OC and world building because I have a lot of original characters, and world building is one of my favorite hobbies aside from art and writing. They often mix together those three hobbies, but I like to have them as distinct hobbies because the amount of world building I do is not necessary for any sort of writing or art purposes. It is just for pure fun, and I love doing that. So I want to make that content. Something else is just what I have written in my notes as 3D and tangible projects. I've messed that up 5 times in recording already. We're leaving it in. So what I have that for is I love sewing, both with a machine and by hand because I'm too lazy to get the machine out. I crochet on occasion. I want to make any sculptures with clay. Just things that I haven't done a whole lot of and that I'd like to get into. Just crafting and learning and sharing the process. And the last thing I have on my list is bad content. Not all of my content needs to be good. Not all of my art needs to be good. I can just create, and it doesn't need to be perfect for other people. It doesn't need to be perfect for me. It won't be perfect. And so, I'm gonna make more bad content. I should also make an intro and outro, shouldn't I?